Warning, if you're under 14 and you are not allowed to watch this video, please click off this video because there will be curse words, some situation that's implied in private, or something else that's going to be in this video or other videos on my channel. I will not be accused of saying something bad in front of some kids, even though this video is only for 14 and up. If you're under that, please leave this video because I will not be responsible for any of that. So, if you're over 14 and you want to watch this video, please move forward and listen to my stories that I want to tell you. And I hope you have a good day. Stories go through the air. You can listen and you cannot. But stories are here to help. Understand what is right and what is wrong. But sometimes stories can do the opposite. There's no right or wrong. You have to form your own opinion. But that is not what you're here for. You're here to listen to this silly little god of this channel listens to his mind going on about his stories, about the different worlds where he's traveling to, and where he can make some small different in a timeline. Welcome to the Blue Mask What If channel. Hello everyone, this is Blue Mask and welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys will enjoy my video, and let's begin this, one shot of what if Deku was the brother of the Huntrix. Hello everyone, this is Blue Mask, and yeah, welcome back to my just a short video I want to do because I actually wanted to do this myself. But this is what if Deku was the brother of the Huntrix? Well, you can say adopted brother in meanwhile what it actually means. I'm sorry if my mic is not high enough because I just got a new mic cable for my newer mic, so I don't have the old mic right now. So this is kind of quiet if I can see it correctly. But it can probably just be my imagination or something. But let's... Alright, so I wanted to explain why I'm just gonna make this short video. So, Huntrix, it's overall... God, it's overall all over the internet. And I wanted to see what fanfiction there was about with My Hero Academia, because I knew there was not going to be anything about it with Danmachi, so I chose My Hero Academia for this. So when I went online, I didn't find actually any good ones about Huntrix and My Hero Academia. So I wanted to create this just for my enjoyment, if I can stand my own voice. Probably not. But when I want to listen to this, I can listen to my story about what I imagine the story to be. So I hope you guys will enjoy this, and I'm sorry for the long rant, and let's begin. We see Tsukumidoriya in his dorm room right now, looking at the ceiling. It's been around maybe 2 weeks since the last battle. Deku was looking up and looking at his right arm with scars that looks like patterns on his skin. When we look down onto his face, we can see the X mark that always shows up when he activated One for All. But this time, in this universe, those patterns are different. A different meaning to Deku and someone else. Or many people in this world that not a not a lot of people know about. Deku looks at it and sat up on his bed, looking forward at some posters of his favorite hero and some favorite bands he got, like Imagine Dragons from the old days, some new pop stars from America, and his most favorite one, the Huntrix. Izuku loved them because he had something with them that no one else knows about, except for his classmate and his teachers, being Eraserhead and All Might. The only people he trusts more about the scars. Deku smiled at the poster and stood up. When Deku was walking towards the door, he felt cramped on his left side. When he, well, takes his arm up and trying to scratch it, he can feel it was not flesh. He looks down. It's a robot hand. You see, like I said, this universe is different. Deku isn't normal at the end of the battle. He still have One for All. He still have the other quirks, but the spirits of One for All is gone. Every single one of them died in the last battle, killing All for One inside of Shigaraki's body, but Deku didn't have to sacrifice their quirks. He just had to sacrifice their spirit for what they wanted to. They wanted to rest. Deku knew that. I miss them. I really do. But, God, it feels now lonely in my head. You probably don't understand why Izuku has a robot hand and him still having One for All as his quirk not is trying to deplete itself like canon. Well, that will come later. Izuku stood up. He was still standing, by the way. He was walking towards the door and opened it before seeing someone at his door. This being Uraka. Oh, Izuku, you're up already. Yeah, I'm fine. I can walk slow now. God, don't be harsh on yourself. Uraka walked over and helped Izuku with walking, putting his arm around her shoulder and putting her hands on his hip, helping him walk down the stairs. How's your new arm? Or forearm and hand? I can. May's a good mechanic. Melissa helped her with the designs and everything else, so it feels like a normal arm. I'm lucky to have them as friends. I know. But how is it? It's fine. It feels normal. Like I used to do. And the other part? It did accepted it. It did. Izuku. Izuku looked at Ochako that looked up at him. I'm serious. And I'm gonna say this. Are you fine? It took a lot out of you just to do what you did. I need a break. Seriously, I can't. I want to go home. Seriously, I want to go home. I know. I can't. I love Japan. I really do. It's a nice place. But after the war and everything that happens, my body hurts. I need rest. And I can't get it here because I understand. I know you like that. Of course, we're dating and I know this. You've told me this. I know you want to go home. I really just want to go. Then ask Principal Nesu. You probably understand why. He's a rat god, so maybe not. He still cares about us, his students. We can go talk to him afterwards. Promise? Yes, I promise, El Chaco. He smiled at her and she smiled back. Both of them walked over to the elevator and both of them went to the ground floor where everyone else was. When everyone saw Isugu coming down with Ochako's help, everyone waved at him and saying if he was alright. I'm fine, just I still have pain from the battle. Ha! Makes sense, nerd. Oh, shut up, Bakugo. Anyways, what do you want? It's on me tonight. Uh, Ramyun. Really? Ramen? Sorry. Good. I will make it. Don't worry. Ochako and Isugu walked over to the table and, well, Ochako helped Isugu sit on, well, a stool, with Ochako sitting beside him, just sitting there. Uh, no, Kaminari walked over and sat beside Isugu and started to talk. Hey man, did you listen to the new track with, well, Huntrix? Hmm? No, I haven't listened to it yet. What is it about? Oh, it's between, I, the Saja boys, I think? Both leaders, meaning Rumi and that Ginu Saja guy, made a collab video with, well, both of them sitting. It's kind of beautiful. Wait, what? Izuku turned to Kaminari and he said, well, Kaminari nodded. Yeah. I have to listen to that later, then. Oh, it's all fine. It's really fucking good. But, man, how are you? I'm fine. I just want to go home. Like, back home? Yeah, back home. And I think actually you deserve that. Isugu turned to Kaminari and Kaminari looked back. Dude, you have sacrificed a lot for the country you were never even born in. Dude, you're from South Korea. You're not from Japan. Of course you're allowed to go home. You're done enough for all of us. He's right, though. Jiro leaned on the stool that Kaminari was sitting on. You have done a lot for us, even though you don't you won't living you won't sorry you won't you were damn it, I can't say it. You weren't born here. You weren't living here before you moved here. What almost 3 years ago? Yeah, almost 3 years ago. That means shit, you're almost 17. Yeah, a year here after the whole training arc, after the whole war in or the raid last year. Spent a few months on the streets doing vigilante work. Stayed here for 2 months recovering. We went out, fought the others. Yeah, it's almost my birthday. You know, almost coming in a couple of months. probably free. Wow, times do really pass by. It does. Izuku stared in front when a bowl was set beside him, and beside Ochako as well. Here you go. The one you like so much. Oh, really? Izuku immediately set up over the bowl and water in his mouth, with Ochako does do the same beside him. Thank you, Bakugo, both of them said, clapping their hands together. Yeah, just eat up. Izuku and Ochako started to eat up when a knock from the door came. All of them except Ochako and Izuku still kept eating when one voice came in with two footsteps. Hello, Class 1A. Everyone's Everyone looked and Izuku and Ochako did the same to see All Might and Aisawa walk in. Both of them stopped eating and replied with the other classmate. Good morning, Mr. Aisawa. Good, you can all repeat it after this whole fiasco last week. Aisawa still had his eye patch, his lost leg, and his lost leg as well.
How are you, Mr. Aisawa, Ribbit?
Itsuyu walked over to Aisawa and he smiled. I'm fine, Tsuyu, thank you.
You smiled. Ribbit.
Yes. Thank you for noticing. Now, I just came here for someone. Just don't worry, you're not in trouble, there's nothing going on, you can all rest. Everyone smiled and turned back to what they are, but Aisawa looked at Isuku. Midoriya, Principal Nezu wants to see you in his office. I told you, Isuku looked forward with a deadpan look. I told you. Red God always watching. Isuku shook his head when all of them hear just a little laughter coming from some speakers. Yep, you're right. Ochako smiled, and both of them started to eat and got done after 5 minutes. Izuku stood up with Ochako helping him, steady himself. He still needs to get used to his, left arm. Ochako helped Izuku walk over to Mr. Aisawa and All Might. Are you ready? I have my clothes on, I don't need anything else right now, so yeah, I'm fine. But I need my girlfriend walking stick. Ochako slapped Izuku in the stomach, making him bend over a little. Oh, I'm still hurting. You still deserve that. Yeah, I know. Izuku stood up and looked at All Might, and I saw her smiling at this. Don't worry, we bought a golf cart, so you don't have to walk. Izuku smiled and walked out of the dorm building with Ochako by his side, and walked over to the golf cart that was in front of the Class 1A dorm room. They sat down, and both of them, All Might was in the driver's seat, and Aisawa was sitting in front with All Might. How are you doing, young Midoriya? I'm doing fine, All Might. If you heard what Nezu want to talk me about, you want to go home. We understand, and I think Nezu want to talk to you about that. Thanks. Izuku sat down and just closed his eyes, just feeling the drive over to the UA building. After getting off with Ochako's help and walking into the building, where no one actually was at this point, they were still repairing everything, but Principal Nezu's office was still completely fine. When they walk in, Principal Nezu was sitting there with a cup of tea in his hands. Ah, young Midoriya, please sit down. Or stand up if you are not willing to sit down. I will stand. He was in front of the desk where Nezu was, and Ochako was by his side. Now, I've heard that you want to go home. Is that correct? Yeah, I just want to go home to my family. That is quite understandable. You have done a lot for this country, and you have been told that you didn't have to, but you did anyways. Well, it was not because of the country, it was because I was chosen by some divine miracle to help you guys with this bigger demon that I've fought. You can say that again, young Midoriya. Now, you will be approved to go to South Korea to your home. That you have around 3 months break, and your homework will be sent over to, your private laptop with all the homework you will do for that week. Do you understand me? And you will keep up with your training, will you? Of course, I will keep up with my training. Don't worry about it. After I recover, I will start training my body up again. That is really good to hear. That is really good to hear, young Midoriya. Now, you will have a week to pack and recover a little bit more before you go on an airplane back to South Korea. And Miss Ochako here will be allowed to come with you. Ochako looked surprised at this. Wait, really? I can go with him? Of course. You are supposedly helping him right now. And you two are a lovely couple. And you two have been through a lot. The only thing I will say is you two are the most impacted by this war. Young Ichako, you with Toga and everything else that happened to you. And young Midoriya, you with Shigaraki and One for All. You two have suffered enough for this term. So 3 months is enough, don't you say? And when you come back, I expect you two, to be stronger, healthier, and more knowledge about the world. Both of them bowed to Principal Nezu and thanked him. Thank you, Principal Nezu. My pleasure, young ones. Now, scoot off. You have plans to do and everything else. All Might, do you mind taking them back? I want to talk to Mr. Aizawa here for a moment. Of course, Principal Nezu. Come on, young Midoriya, young Ochako. Both of the kids smiled and Principal Nezu and walked out of the door with All Might. After the door closes, Aizawa looked back at Nezu. Are you sure about this, Principal Nezu? Indeed, those two have suffered enough. Even though both of them has gotten therapy with Hound Dog, he has told them they still have issues being in Japan right now. I see. The destruction? Yes. What he said to me. They take 5 steps forward and 2 steps back. This has happened the last couple of 2 weeks. I see. Aizawa looked at the door where the kids walked out of. Yeah, this is for the best. Get a new look of the world and outside of the destruction of Japan. How's the other countries taking it? They're taking it quite well. I have been helping the heroes hero. Oh shit, I forgot their names. The Hero Safety Commission, with Hawks as well, to revamp it and do whatever they can to protect everyone this time. They did fail. And the government has been told that the quirks registrations of you can't save anyone with your quirks will be toned back a little. That is a great news. There will be many things being built in Japan that the entire world has. Mm, America, UK, and some other European countries has produced anything else that can help the public. Japan didn't catch on sooner enough. I know. Isugu was sitting in an airplane in actually first class. The first time he's not actually the first time, but the first time he's actually been on a public plane. Isugu was sitting next to Ochako in a first class or high class luxury place where they have to sit and just relax. Luckily for Japan, the airports were fine. Nothing got hit there except for a few, but the bigger ones were safe. Isugu was sitting down and started to pick up, well, his phone. Isugu searched for something he had downloaded on his phone and you pull up a music video called Free. He started to play it and heard, well, you know the song from, well, you know the song what I'm talking about. So I will just be quiet for a moment. Go watch the music video where Rumi and Gino is singing. All right, you done? Good. Isuku listened to it and hears the lyrics. Hears every single one of them and what they are telling. Isugu understood them immediately. Ruma was a half demon. Gino was a full demon back what he understood when this was recorded. But Isugu understood the lyrics and what they were actually meaning. When he looked up, he sees that Ochako was looking at his face. So you took the barrier down. I saw your marks were glowing, Isugu. Shit. Really? Yep. Did anyone else see it? Both of them was whispering, by the way. Nope, there's not a lot in this airplane right now. I think the few that's actually in our row and actually near us that can hear us is around 7 down. Or 7 forward from us. Itsuku stood up and looked around to see, yeah, no one was actually near them. No one saw your marks glowing, but when you opened your eyes, I could see your eyes. They were kind of turning yellow. God damn it. Those two. You heard the free song? Yep, finally got time to listen to it. How was it? God damn, it's good, but I understood every single lyric. Huh? That bad? Shoot. Not bad. It was not bad at all. It was great. It was great to listen to. But I understood the lyrics because I'm a half demon as well. That is understandable. Isugu looked at Ochako that went over the wall and sat in between his legs and leaned back to Isugu's chest. Isugu wrapped his arms around her and just hold her there with him. Isugu made his chair into a bed and sat down just listening to Ochako breathing. Do you feel different for other people? A little? How so? I don't feel normal. That's the whole point with it. You can never feel normal when you have demon marks. That's the whole problem with it. That's understandable, Isuku. But Ochako turned around to look at Isuku's face when he looked down at her. You are my kind of different. God, how did I find you in another country? I don't know. But I do hope you understand that I do love you. I know. And I love you too. You are too sweet for me. You are too sweet for me. Ochako turned around to lay just in Isuku's chest, with Isuku pulling up a playlist with that is called, well, their songs. Isuku started to play them, and both of them listened to it. After some few minutes, they switched over to watch a movie on the airplane. They got served food afterwards, with them eating it, and after some few hours on the airplane, they landed in South Korea. Now we're going somewhere else. Somewhere we haven't been yet. Huntrix Tower. You see, after the whole battle with Greymon and everything else, Ginu never actually died at that point. Neither did the other Sajo boys. In some divine or hellish miracle, the other Sajo boys survived with Ginu as well. Because he wasn't absorbed by Greymon as much, most of his body disappearing, but his remaining body still went into Rumi's sword. He got brought back after the battle, and everyone from the people that was there being a little confused, the Sacha boy appeared, but their marks were barely there. So after the whole things with their issues and going through it, Bobby got a new pop star group, being the Saja Boys. And after that, after the whole week was over, the girls and the Saja Boys started to live in the Huntrix Tower together. And when the war in Japan happened, the group was watching it. The boys didn't know why they were, but they still did. And the girls didn't tell them why they saw it. But into the last battle that was against Isuku Midoriya, what they knew about the man, they could only see his half of his face because of, well, the other side of his mask being covered. The other side of his mask covering it up. They could see green hair and a green eye, but nothing more, nothing less. But they did see markings of a demon, half demon. After the whole battle was fought and everything else, all the Saja boy could understand why. For what the news broadcaster told them, a song was playing that was called what it sounds like on the speaker that was kind of weird in a point, but it seems to help the guy fight. Something to boost him, something to go with his adrenaline. When the whole battle was over, they saw what the fuck happened. You see, in the battle, Midoriya convinced what the newscaster told them because they couldn't hear audio. Izuku Midoriya helped Shigaraki Tomura, the villain, to see reasons, to see why this was so bad, to destroy everything that people has built up for hundreds of years, to build up to a better society, but people that destroy them makes it worse, makes it bad for everyone else. Sometimes it can be good, but right now this was just awful. When Shigaraki agreed, someone else took over. A guy called All for One. It's a weird shit going over Japan, what Gino actually think. Gino. So the whole thing with the quirk, what they understood, there's a lot of people here in Japan that looks different. That's why they thought they were demons, but they were not. A lot of things has changed since then, the last time they've been on Earth. So yeah, that was kind of weird, but they still understood everything. So when Shigaraki was taken over by One for All, and after the whole battle, All for One gave the boy named Isuku something on his left arm. Two medical student, for what the newscaster understood who they were trapped in a building but was saved by other heroes that went over to help Isuku. But his arm was almost decayed, or all of him was almost decayed before he told or yelled that actually got picked up by the microphone to just fucking cut it off. And a medical student that could turn herself, what he could understood, her arm and fingers into blades, cut it off. With a man with healing arms that could turn into a liquid that could heal people, healing the wound as best he could, with the arm dead and disappearing into the air, saving Itsuka Midoriya. After the whole battle was over and the news podcaster stopped, Rumi and the girls said they had to, well, they wanted to stay alone for a little bit. Gino tried to help Rumi, but she just said, I just need alone time, Gino. For myself. Please? He understood and agreed, with Rumi walking off to a room with the other girls doing the same. The boys looking confused. Bobby was in the room with them, but he didn't say anything. When they asked, he said, that the girls might tell you, but I don't want to. It's not really my story to tell. Bobby walked away outside of the elevator and said, give them time. After that he left, the boys looked at each other and just shook their shoulder. They didn't understand why. By the way, Bobby knew after the whole incident with the Saja boy and the Huntrix fighting that demons and everything else existed. But that was, around 3 weeks ago by then. Right now, Gino was walking down the hallway when he saw the cleaning lady that always comes around walking out of the room. He was told not to tell anyone about, the Saja boy being there. When the cleaning girl walked away, she nodded at Gino and smiled at him. Good morning. Good morning. She walked away from the room when Gino stopped and looked at it. This room was... Wait, he's never actually known there was a room here. He's just walked by and... It was on the same floor as the girls. The girls was on the tippy top of the floor where their penthouse is, with the boys on the next floor down. This room was at the girls' rooms. But he's never seen the girls actually walk in there a lot of the time, only a few times in these 3 weeks, actually. Gino got a little bit confused and walked over to the door and opened it. It was a bedroom, but the girls have their own room. Why do you need this one? He looked confused and walked into the room, closing the door behind him and turning on the lights. He saw the room was filled with heroes and notebooks, music items, and posters of Huntrix and other heroes around the world. Some from South Korea, some from Japan, and some from Europe, America, and everything else. Sorry. When Gino walked in, he saw that this was a boys' room, not a girl's. Now he got even more confused. Give me a moment. When Gino walked into the room and stood near a desk, there are no computers and everything else, but he saw there were a keyboard and a mouse, meaning that a person has been in here, but it's been a long time since a cleaning lady was in here as well. He walked around the room, being a little more quiet than usual with his walk, and walked over to a bookshelf with notebooks. He walked over and picked one down, seeing analyze. He opened it and saw it was analyzing of heroes, actually. Huh. He flipped through it and saw these are detailed notes. This is quite amazing, actually. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. When he looked through it, he saw that it was a lot of heroes around the world. He put it back and took another one from another shelf, having a V, well, under it. When he saw villain analyze, he saw the same thing, but more detail of how to take a person down or anything else. That is quite good. He put the book back and took a book from a M. Music training. Wait, this was also an artist? So he lived here with the Huntrix? He picked up the music and looked through it. It was lyrics. Lyrics he never heard of. When he looked down at the books, he saw there was 20 here. He looked from the first that looks like it was a younger person, and to the last that looks like he left 3 years ago? Really? They haven't been here that long? He picked up the book and looked at the last lyrics and said that these are good. What the hell? Who is this? He put the books back and walked back over to the door when he spotted a mask on a pedestal or something to hold a mask on. It was a rabbit mask with green tufts on it, with a familiar design on it, actually. Gino picked the mask off and walked out of the room. It was paper mache or a paper mask, so it couldn't be destroyed easily. He heard that all of the groups were in the common room and actually hearing Bobby's voice coming from it. He walked in and saw the others were sitting around doing some. Well, he saw Sori and Mystery sitting together, and Sori writing some lyrics, with Mystery just looking over her shoulder, just seeing what she was doing. He saw that Baby was sitting down and eating some snacks and some other foods, with Romance and Abby trying to flirt with Mira, and Rumi sitting there looking at Bobby that was talking with Baby and, Rumi just watching him well, talking. The others were still listening to Bobby, but still a little bit quiet. When Bobby saw Ginu, said, "Ah, Ginu, there you are. I've finally been looking for you." "Oh, sorry, I was just looking around somewhere." "Wait, where did you look around?" "Oh, it was a room I've never actually seen before." "Wait, a room?" Rumi looked around from the sofa and looked at Gino and, "Where did you get that mask?" The other girls looked as well and saw that Gino was holding a mask. "Oh, it was in the room I found. I didn't understand why, so I never actually seen the room because it was kind of white, so kind of blending in with the whole wall, so I never saw it. But I saw the cleaning lady walk out of the room and I got curious, thought it was the practice room that I never knew about. Gino, that is a Rumi was about to explain when a voice was right behind him. "Do you mind placing my mask back in my room, please?" Gino kind of was surprised with a voice behind him that was male. When he looked behind, he saw a green-haired boy with green eyes with a X scar on his face and marks around his face as well. With him looking kind of pissed. And with his right and left hand, being his left hand was wearing a glove, with him hearing that the right hand was cracking but the left hand wasn't. "Oh, shit." But beforehand, before this incident was about to go wild, before Gino actually arrived, Bobby took everyone into the living room of the Huntrix living area and talking to them. "So, I got news that someone is coming to visit for around 3 months." "Wait, what do you mean staying? Well, visit here for 3 months, Bobby?" Baby was looking at him with a confused look. "Give me a moment." You see, someone is coming here to stay with all of you for two people actually is coming to stay here for around 3 months because of a incident where they have been staying for the last 3 years. Well, that is quite interesting. Romance was looking at Mira, but still was listening to Bobby. Mira scoffed at this and just looked forward at Bobby. "So, why are you here?" "I've never heard of this." "Well, because I wanted to kind of be a surprise." When Bobby looked up, he saw Gino coming into the room. "Ah, Gino, there you are. I was kind of looking for you. Where have you been?" Sorry if the line has changed. "Oh, looking in a. I was looking around." "Where did you look around?" "I saw the cleaning lady come out of a room that is kind of its door was kind of in the wall that I never noticed, so I explored it for a little bit." "What? Wait, which room?" Rumi turned around and looked at Gino, looking down at his mask. "Gino, where did you get that mask?" "I found it in the room that the cleaning lady came out of. Like I said, it was kind of hidden because it was a white door, so I never noticed it." "Gino, you, you shouldn't." Before the girls could continue, a voice came from behind. "Ahem. Do you mind giving my mask back, please? That is kind of a personal thing. With the whole scene with the green-haired boy standing behind Ginu was there. Back to the present. When the other soldier boys saw the boy, they couldn't recognize him at first, but after they saw the robot hand on the left side, or the gloved hand, they could understood who he is and why the fuck he was even here. Hi. You must be, Isuku Midoriya, right? Yes, that is me. Now, do you mind my mask? Isuku reached out with his left arm and just snatched his mask back. Yeah, okay. Isuku stood there looking at Ginu when Rumi and Mira and Zoe jumped up and immediately rushed over to him, confusing the boy for a second when all three of them just glomped him at the same time. All three of them just yelled out, Isuku! And just started to cry together, just starting to cry together, just hugging him, but not actually falling over. Yep, hi girls. Sorry I haven't contacted you in these couple of this last year. Kind of been busy. Rumi just cried a little. We understood that, but you still kind of contacted us. Yeah, sorry. He smiled and put the mask, well, on put the mask on the table beside him. Well, put the mask. No, Isuku still had the mask on, in his hands. Isuku looked at him and smiled. It's good to see you all again, and your marks, Rumi. Yours as well. Both of them smiled, and the girls knew that Isuku actually knew about this. Well, the marks. So, are you okay? Well, I'm just fucking tired, that's all. That is understandable. Rumi smiled and turned to the boys that looks heavily confused with exact with exception Bobby. Bobby smiled and walked a little quicker over to Isuku and hugged him, with Isuku hugging back. It's good to see you again, Isuku. It's good to see you as well, Bobby. Whoa. Can we just tone down a little? Abby stood up, looking confused. One thing, I recognized him as Isuku Midoriya from that hero battle around 3 weeks ago. Yes, that's him. 1. Why is he here? 2. Why did he say Gino has his mask? 3. Why does he have a room in the tower? And 4. Why is he a half demon? Izuku smiled and just said, 1. Yes, I am Izuku Midoriya. Yes, I am from the Battle of Japan. 2. Yes. I forgot the questions. Izuku just answered them one by one with yes answers. And 3. I live here because I have lived here for around 5 years. When he said that, everyone looked, well, the soldier boy looks confused at this. You were living here for 5 years? Well, if you manage to accept the 3 years I was abroad, yeah, 2 years and 3 abroad. Okay. So, you've been living here for 5 years. You went to Japan to go to UA. You came back for a 3 months break. Yes, that is mostly it. Okay, last question. Who is she? Abby pointed at a brown haired girl with a kind of bob cut behind, well, Isuku. She kind of got surprised and eeped a little. Isuku smiled and walked over to her. Right, girls, I want you to meet Ochako Uraraka. She is my girlfriend. The girls looked surprised at this, but immediately walked over, smiling, and rushed over to Ochako, greeting her and asking a bunch of questions. Ochako answered them as quickly as he could, with getting used to Isuku's speed, but the girl's questions was a little slower than his. Ochako smiled and answered questions that the girl answered. How she is, what her favorite color, favorite animal, and everything else the girls was talking to Oraka about. Isuku walked over to where the boys still were and just leaned over, well, or the sat on the back of the couch and just watched the girls, still having his mask in his left hand. Gino got a little bit curious and walked over to him. So, may I ask? My mask? Yes, and why do you have it? Oh, I used to make music in the 2 years I was here. The girls started 5 years ago when they found me, actually. I joined them at that point. I made my own music and helped some other songs with the girls. So I wear this. I wear the mask to hide myself. Oh, I see. So you, I don't have any face or anything else. The most you can figure here, well, find me in is pictures with them, just standing there. I do love my fans, but it's been 3 years since I last posted music. Bobby smiled and turned to Isuku. Maybe you can post again, Isuku. Maybe, but I'm still here to recover, so I'm not gonna dance or anything. Yes, that is a good point, though. Oh? What kind of injuries did you get in the fight? Isuku turned to Ginu and said, Oh, well, easy one. I lost my left arm. Well, some of my arm. Some of my left arm. I got some muscle cramps. I think I twisted my ankle at one point in the fight. I don't remember. Got pierced a lot of times with All for One. Luckily, he couldn't throw his quirk into it. Um, got cuts. This scar under my eye. Bell pointed at the scar on his eye. Then some more internal injuries, broken ribs, couple of broken bones. Well, the worst one was on my left, so that was kind of not great, but still awful. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Wow. Uh, your life must be really dangerous. Oh, it is very dangerous. But it's kind of rewarding when you save people. But after this war, I think the crime will go down very, very much. You think so? Yeah, I don't think we wanted to idolize All Might's era that much. Even though he was a good protector, we kind of put him on a pillar that was holding up, well, the whole entire country of Japan. if you can say that. But wouldn't that was the dangerous part. All Might was holding Japan, the rest of the heroes was holding him. Well, those who wanted to be heroes. The others stood around, didn't do anything else. Some of them even tried to destroy other heroes. Huh. But, imagine every hero as a pillar, All Might being strongest and in the middle of it, holding up the entire roof of the whole building. The other pillars are doing their jobs as well, but some of them are crumbling or just destroyed, even though from the inside they're completely destroyed and not holding anything up anymore. The outside, it looks perfect and pristine. That makes sense now. Yeah, so that's why the whole system was going to be reworked, and that's why I said the system is going to make sure that it's going to go below All Might, maybe. Making heroes out of work. That's actually going to be a great thing. Are you sure that's going to be a great thing? Yeah, there's still going to be heroes, we still need them, but few of them. More experienced heroes that can train their own sidekicks instead of a hero school. That one was kind of ridiculous to make. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. But, anyways, enough of them. Well, enough of the weird symbolic words I'm spitting out of my mouth. I just need rest. And I think my room is clean because you said that cleaning lady has been in there. Yep, totally cleaned. Nothing is what I think is out of order. What else did you look in there? Oh, I only saw your villain, hero, and music notebooks. Oh, those were fine. Good you didn't find anything else. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing, and you don't need to know about it. Izuku smiled with a little, "Don't fuck with me" kind of look on his face. And Gino complied. Izuku stood up and walked over to the girls. They were still talking about random stuff. Izuku walked over to Ochako and wrapped his right arm around her shoulder. Now, I know this is exciting to see you guys again, but we had a flight here from morning to, well, almost at night to almost at morning right now, so we need kind of sleep. Oh, that makes sense. Don't worry about it, Izuku. Thanks. Now, Ochako, let's go into my room. Wait, what? Come on, it's fine. We're just gonna sleep. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay. Izuku and Ochako disappeared into Izuku's room with the door closing behind. So, you had a... What exactly is he to you guys? Oh, he's our brother. Well, adopted brother, actually. He's so excited to be around. We have kind of missed him for the last 3 years. Yeah, you can say that much. The girls walked over to the couch and sat down. So, he wanted to be a hero? Yes, but he also got interesting in music. Not much of dance, but music just interested him a lot. That's why he's kind of write a lot. Actually, 10 of our songs is actually him writing them. Yes, it was so excited to do his first one. It got super huge. Yeah. Not in our top 10, but in our top 15 of our songs. That is kind of amazing. It is. Baby jumped into Ginu and the girls while talking. So, what kind of music does he write? What do you mean? I mean, does he do rap? Does he do K-pop? Does he do pop songs? What does he do actually? Oh, that's kind of interesting actually. Isuku is a multiple composer of songs, meaning he can write rap, K-pop, or anything actually. He's only released a few songs on the internet, and he is still huge among our fans and his own, but he's not actually one kind of person. So he can do multiple things and everything else. Yeah, that kind of sort of stuff. Huh, interesting. Rumi stepped into the conversation between Baby and Zoe. Yeah, it is. But we better get back to doing, well, whatever we was about to do afterwards. Everyone agreed and split up to, well, their each sort of thing they were about to do. Isuku woke up after some few hours of sleeping, finding out it was around morning time. The next day, actually. Isuku looked, well, down to see Uraraka cuddling up to him in her PJs. Isuku had a shorts and t-shirt combo on, with Ochako having, well, just PJs like the girls actually have on them. She has her own style and everything else with space, stars, and planets. Isuku turned off the alarm clock that he set, not wanted to wake up Oraka. Isuku got, well, out of the little hug they had on, their cuddle, and stood up from the bed, walking over to the bathroom and brushing his teeth, and changing into normal morning clothes. Isugu yawned and walked out of the room to go over to the, well, eating area. The kitchen, sorry. He walked over to the kitchen to see, what the fuck? Isugu looked forward to see at the kitchen counter, with nobody even around, a blue tiger and a black bird with 6 eyes and a hat. Isugu looked confused and looked around, not seeing anyone, and the tiger looked at him. Hi. Um, what? Are you a demon pet? You must be one of the boys, but they've never seen you here or yesterday. Sorry. Sorry, there was something on the mic that I was annoying me. Give me a moment. Isuku walked up to the blue tiger and started to pet its head and looking at it. The tiger got a little purr in its voice and leaned over to Isuku's hand. He knelt down in front of its face and looked at it. Huh. Derby. The tiger reacted to the name. Wait, your name is actually Derby. The crow made a noise on its head, and Isuku looked at it. So you understand me, but he can't. It crowed, 1 for yes, 2 for no. Okay, so why are you two in the kitchen then? The bird flew over to to a little fridge in the kitchen he's never actually seen here before. Last time he was here, that was 2 years ago. A mini. Is there meat in there? The crow. It crowed yes. Okay. Isuku walked over and opened the kitchen, well, the mini fridge, and saw some different kind of meat. Today was today was Monday on a new week. So Isuku saw that food for Monday was already made. And it said, if you don't know, just feed it to him. He took the food out and walked over to Derby and placed it in front of him. Derby immediately started to eat the food when Isuku just laughed at this. Oh my god. Now I see why the girls actually want you around. The crow landed on the tiger's, well, head and just looked at it. So, do you need food or anything else? The crow just crowed no. Okay. After this, Isugu got out some other food for him and made some for himself. After he was done, he walked over to the table and started to eat, noticing that none of the others were awake yet. Huh. Maybe they're not that much awake right now. After eating and walking over, putting it into the washer, or putting the his dirty dishes into the that thing you use is called a washing machine, because I've seen a lot of American stuff where they just put it on the counter and the dishwash or the sink or anything else. But I think it's called it's a dishwasher machine. Yeah. Izuku puts it in a dishwashing machine and walked over to Derby, seeing that he was done eating his food, and Izuku put the bowl into the washing machine as dishwasher as well. Izuku closed it and walked over to Derby. Well, walked past Derby that followed him over to the couch. Izuku had grabbed a notebook. It grabbed one of his notebooks and sat on the couch and started to draw something in it that we viewers cannot see. After some few moments, Isugu heard that someone, or two people actually, was going down to the ground, was coming out of the room. When he gotten a idea, Isugu puts the notebook on one of the couch's side, and stood up and stood in front of Derby, picking him up quite bit easily. For him, he weighed absolutely nothing. Isugu surprised the little. I think her name was Sussy, I think. Isugu picked up Derby and walked over to the stairs going up to the girls' rooms. My iteration of the tower is kind of different than others, so please don't hate me. Isuku walked over to the room area. I don't think there's an upstairs, so he didn't go up. I don't know, I have to look at the tower again. Isuku carried Derby over to the stairwells, making sure that Derby didn't hit his head or anything else. Walked over to see who it is and saw that the girls was actually waking up with, well, all the guys coming down the hallway as well. Ochako was still sleeping, by the way, he knew that. So when he saw everyone coming around the corner and talking, he walked out with carrying Derby. Hey, Rumi? Yes, what is it? Everyone looked to see that Isugu was carrying Derby and Sussy. Do you mind telling me why we got this huge livable plush? Isugu, that is. I mean, it's really lifelike. I mean, it eats food and everything else, but why do we got it? Rumi just looked at him and said, "You're fucking with us, aren't you?" Yes, I am, but still, why do we have a demon tiger and a demon bird here? Oh, after the whole thing, he kind of stayed with us. Hmm, I approve. He's fluffy as hell, though. May I ask? Abby stepped forward and asked, "How strong are you?" Well, this is. I've been training a lot and still recovering, but I can lift a man when I was not actually this kind of strong, so lifting Derby here? Wait, you found out his name? Yeah, he reacted when I said he looked Derby. By the way, there was actually the reaction when I found out that was it, the Derby's name. I saw the last of the movie because I have known about the movie and everything else, but I saw my mom and one of my siblings watching it, so I went down and saw the last of it. When I saw the tiger and its face at the end, I said, "Derpy," and my sibling just said, "Yeah, that's his name." And I just looked hella confused because that was kind of an accident for me. So yeah, that's a funny moment that actually happened. So, you guessed it because you said it was Derpy? Yes. Okay, that's kind of lucky to guess that, but how much do you think you can live without your quirk, right? It's called quirks. Yeah, you're still learning. Mira walked over to his side and pats his shoulder. Oh, 3 fridges without using my quirk? Or 1 fridge? Oh, that is. You're really strong then. Yeah, I am. Izuku put down Derby and Sussy and walked away, and went over to the couch to take up his notebooks again and started to write something down in them. The boys got a little bit confused by his behavior, but the girl said that was kind of normal for him. After some few minutes, the boys and the girls started to make their food on the counter when they hear someone coming from the hallway. Isuku turns, knowing who it is, and smiled at Uraraka that was, well, in some, not her pajamas or PJs. She was in, well, regular clothes at this point, and waving at everyone, still a little bit tired. Good morning. Oh, hello, Chaco. What do you want to eat? You got some cereal or something? I'm not that. I don't want anything else at this point. Izuku turned around back to his notebook, seeing the interaction with the girls. Ochaku sat down on the table, sitting and just being, well, trying to wake up. After some few minutes, Rumi came over to her with her plate of food and, well, cereal for Ochako. Here you go then. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just a little tired in this morning. It's fine. So, may I ask how you and my, well, sort of brother sort of brother, met. Oh, he never told you? I did. Izuku's voice came from the couch, and he was still just writing in his notebook. Yeah, I think I don't remember that. I catched him at the entrance for the UA entrance exam. Oh, you're that girl? Yeah, now I remember. Yeah, it's super sweet that you caught Isuku. Thank you. Well, it's great that I did because he's a good person to be around. Of course he is. Ginu sat down next to Rumi and started to ask, so, what is your quirk, by the way? Oh, it's a zero gravity, but it has a kind of evolved form now. I still have to learn it, but Isuku is helping me so much. Can you maybe show it? I'm kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting to hear about. Of course. Uraka took off her. She had artist gloves on. Uraka took off her artist gloves and touched a fork so it was floating up in the air. Whoa, that is kind of nice. So he grabbed the fork that Ochako actually used and put it down on the table, Ochako releasing it with her mind. So you have to touch it and then you can release it by your mind? Well, no, not uh my quirk was used to I have to touch my fingers to release it and I just touch it with my hand to make it float. But now after the war, it kind of got an upgrade where I can mentally command it to stop floating. Sorry. That is an interesting quirk. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, right? Yes, it's Zoe. The girls continued to talk about some random things when Abby actually stood, well, on the side of the couch next to Isuku, seeing what he was doing. So, what are you doing? Oh, just writing some stuff down. Wait, are those the lyrics? Yeah, it's lyrics. I haven't been writing for uh a year maybe, and I have a lot in my head, and then the new music is kind of therapy for me. So writing it down is kind of a good thing actually for me. I see. So you write stuff down with music to get therapy? No, I have a therapist. I will still contact him in these couple of days, in these 3 months I'm here. But I just want to write some things down, and I wanted to write for so long. That makes sense. So what are you writing about here? That seems like I don't. Mm, that is kind of weird lyrics to. What are you writing? Oh, love letter. Really? Yeah, I think the girls told you that I can write anything. It just had to maybe be music or about quirks. Sorry if you could hear that. I just moved my mic. Yeah, the girls told us you are good at writing lyrics and everything else. So let me see. Yeah, it's just in the beginning of the song. Huh. Give it some more and yeah, you can totally write this. Sure. I just need to figure out what I need to. Hmm. Abby pointed out some things he could write down in the notebook, and Isugu did took that to heart. Took that to the lyrics as well. After some few moments of all of them talking, they heard something outside of the tower. What was that? Gino turned to the balcony the of the big room they're in. Everyone walked over to the glass, and Isugu was the first one to step outside, looking out to the city of Seoul. I think they're in Seoul, right? When he was looking down, he saw that um there was nothing wrong with the Hanmoon, right? No demon has escaped for last 3 months. We haven't felt anything. Okay, then that means that person is that's a villain. God damn it! Isugu put his head on the railing of the balcony, and the others looked down to see. Yeah, that kind of looks like a demon. No kidding, the red skin, the tusks, but it has human eyes, so it can't be a demon. Isugu pulled out his phone and opened an app called the Hero Network. Isugu was still on the Japan network, so he turned it to, South Korea. Ochako stood beside him looking at the messages. Villain spot in Seoul. It translated to Japanese for Ochako. Any heroes available, please go to the city of Seoul. Villain is a gigantified person. God damn it, I wanted a vacation, not see a hero fight outside. Isugu turned to the messages and saw that. Oh, fuck. What is it, Isugu? There's around 10 heroes, but no one can figure out how to take him down. One can shoot fire. That will be dumb if one of the hero can shoot fire, one water, one earth. It's a 4-team hero of water, fire, and wind. The wind can probably do anything, but he's not strong enough. He just tried. Then one can control any metal. Some metal in his costume that he can turn to string. And yep, there he goes. The group saw that the guy was trying to get the metal kind of rope was going around the guy, but he broke through it. And he broke through it. Isuku, you're still recovering. Yeah, but I hate this. We needed a vacation. Seoul doesn't have a lot of villains around, and why now? Maybe he freaked out? Maybe. Give me a moment. Isuku walked into the room. Everyone looked confused and still was staring at the fight. Ochako pulled out her phone to see what was going on. A lot of the heroes down there tried to stop him, but the villain just went forward towards. Wait, is he going towards our tower? The man was getting closer, around 2 blocks away from the tower. Yep, he's going for the tower. Is he a fan? I hope not. Gino looked down to see what was going on and see there was some police blockage on the ground. At this point, Izuku returned with something, well, a glove on his robot hand. God damn it, I didn't want to use this. Izuku, what are you doing? You know my quirk, gear shift? Yeah. Otaku looked confused and said, I can manipulate any item so it can gear shift into higher air. Izuku pulled out a. Is that the same shooters as Kaminari? Yup. He let me borrow one of his old version if this happened. Izuku touched one of the items, one of the disc, and set it to so the man can be hurt but not killed by it. Izuku aimed the shot down below and fired it towards the guy. After around a minute, the item hits the guy's forehead, knocking him back. The guy gets confused and why and looked around the air. At this point, the metal guy and the metal hero with the metal rope, and the air guy came around again to, well, capture the guy around some metal ropes, and the wind guy pushing him, getting him down to the ground, and getting arrested. After this, there were some few comments on the Korean side of who fired a yellow disc. Izuku turned on his phone again and logged into the hero network, answering answering the question who it was with explaining that he was Izuku Midoriya, a UA student from Japan, born in Korea, came back for a little vacation after the whole war thing, coming to see this, shooting a shot that could hit the guy but not hurt him. He sent his license over to the police that asked for it, and he got cleared of, well, the whole thing. Izuku sent a message towards the police to send the disc back up to, well, put it in the Huntrix Towers, the Huntrix Tower, so he can go get it. They asked why. He said it was an easier location to find than anywhere else he can't. They said alright, and after some few moments of them putting it there, Izuku went down to get it and came back up. After the whole incident, Izuku sat down on the couch again, just sighing in annoyance. I wanted a vacation. Just one vacation away from hero work. And the next day I came and I thought it would be fine. This happened. Well, it's not that bad. Zoe leaned over the back of the couch to Izuku's side. Yeah, it didn't happen worse. Miura sat down beside Izuku and Rumi stood in front of him. Still, that you did was kind of good because the guy was coming here. Yeah, I deduced that. That's why I picked it up. That's why I went into my room and got the launcher and everything else. Really? How? Saw when he went. And I sold by heart the lie to the police with the whole thing. You know that. Yeah, we know. I saw where he could have gone. He could have gone to one of the banks that was near our tower, or near a stadium or a drugstore. But he turned around towards our tower. There's nothing special except the tower, where you guys live. I see. That makes sense. So, that was your quirk? Baby turned around to look at Izuku. No, one of my quirks. Oh, so you have more than usual? Well, you can say it's one quirk with different aptitudes or different abilities. Or you can say it's one name with multiple group members. Oh, I get it now. You really need a K-pop example? Dude, no, I get it from the others, but why did you say that with the group? Just telling you if it makes sense. Alright then. Izuku sat down and started to write, well, his lyrics, with Ochako coming from the kitchen area, got done eating her food, and sat in between Izuku that just made sure she was comfortable, and started to write away in his notebook. So, may I ask something? Gino sat down next to Rumi that was, well, on the same couch as Izuku and Uraka. After Gino sat down and Rumi got comfortable by his side, he asked, "How did you girls meet Izuku exactly?" "Oh, they helped saving me from my demon dad." "Wait, so your dad was a demon and your mom was a human?" "Yes. My dad was a demon, my mom was a human. It's a weird thing in our family, actually." "What do you mean in our family?" "Oh, I'm Rumi's second cousin, actually. Our moms were cousins and we became, uh, we have met many times beforehand in that point. My mom and her mom are cousins, making us second cousins. I think that's correct. And it's a weird thing that our family marries outside of the family, not specifically for Korea. So what you're meaning is my mom's parents were Korean and Japan from my grandma was from Korea. My grandpa was from Japan. So my mom is half Korean and half Japan. Japan. I don't actually know what it's called. So half Korean, half South Korean, half J- J- a person from Japan. But Izuku says what it actually is called. So, and your mom fell in love with a demon when she was living in here in Seoul. And her mom also fell in love with a demon. My mom fell in love with a demon. But my story is kind of more awful at that point. What do you mean? My dad was breaking away from Grimon back then. He was actually never been his marks never glowed for many years when I was born. I knew my dad and what he's like. The girls never actually met him at this point. Well, Rumi never met him, but we both knew we were half demon at that point. Um, but a day, almost next to my birthday, my dad got control by Guimon. He was tearing off his office. He was helping in a in construction sites where he was the manager and everything else. There was nothing happening in his job, what I know, and he freaked out because of Greymon was trying to control his mind. My mom tried to stop him, tried to stop Greymon, but her voice couldn't get through to him, so she hit me. She hit me in the basement of our house, and I could hear everything. My mom still trying to calm my dad cutting her, uh, killing her, but never took her soul. He was he was there for I was in the basement for half an hour listening to him go around destroying everything in the house when the girls and their mentor arrived. Celine. Um I was fully panicked, so my marks were fully out at this point. So when the girls went down into the basement and saw me, they saw my marks. We almost killed him, but Rumi stopped us and helped Isuku out of the building. We were confused at this point, but when she told us that they were second cousins and her mom knew Rumi, that Isuku's mom actually visited her for a few times, but I haven't been visiting since we were training, so they didn't know. Celine killed my dad in my house. I didn't know he was gone at this point, but I think it was for the best. He was disappeared. That is awful. I know, but I'm getting through it. That I've been through a lot in my lifetime, and that's why I've been through a lot. That's just it. So that's how you met, and you girls knew he was half demon? Yeah, so that was kind of surprising that Rumi never told us. She, Celine said that it could be worse if you figured it out. And I told you so many times just to tell them, but did you listen? No, of course you didn't. You were stubborn as hell. Yeah, I know. Isugu stopped writing the lyrics in his notebook and put it down and just hugged Ochako from, well, around her stomach. I'm just glad I'm back. We're glad you're back too, Isugu. Isugu smiled at Rumi and just looked outside of the building towards the sun was rising to the sky. Now, this is going to be it from this video. This is just a short kind of thing. It's just a short video. It's not going to be personal and everything else. But if you have questions about some things on my channel, you can leave them in the comments, and I really want to make a video of a Q&A about my videos, or just something about me. Nothing very personal, but I just want you guys to make some questions for me. So please leave that in comments, and please like and subscribe. This is the third time I've ever done this, I think, or fourth I've ever said like and subscribe at the end of a video. I forgot that at the beginning, but I don't really mind. Like and subscribe, and I hope you guys really, really enjoy my video. Good morning, goodbye, farewell, see you later, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time, my blue masks. Good morning, goodbye, farewell, see you later, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. Bye-bye.